Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this weekend.
Good evening and thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Allison Fergit. Well, we have some thunderstorms rolling in tonight, so we're going to start it off by sending it to Nicole for our forecast.
Yeah, we've had some light rain throughout most of the day today, but we are going to start to see a quick line of some thunderstorms moving through in the next few hours. Here's a look at radar over the last 3 hours. You can see that line of thunderstorms making its way through southern Minnesota right now. If we take a closer look at it, it's just starting to reach about Rochester right now. Could be some small hail within these storms. Otherwise, we're really not tracking a huge severe risk with them. Just a couple rumbles of thunder and maybe an uptick in your rain rates as we go into the rest of the night. Here's what the timing's looking like. Getting to Eau Claire around midnight, La Crosse maybe a few hours after that. But really that main line of thunderstorms moves out by the early morning hours, and then we're just going to be left with some scattered light rain as we go throughout the rest of the day. We do have some winter weather advisories out for portions of the area, mainly for an icing risk tonight. We are going to continue to see some sleet and rain chances as we go throughout the night and into tomorrow, with some snow on the way as we go into tomorrow evening. So winter is back after an 80-degree day yesterday. It's very spring-like out there.
We just can't seem to shake winter.
No, it doesn't want to say goodbye.
Ugh.
Hopefully this is the last stretch.
Fingers crossed. All right, thank you, Nicole. A woman is dead following a crash this morning in Dunn County. Authorities say a 911 call came in around 7:15 a.m. reporting a woman found in a ditch on County Highway Y in the town of Dunn. First responders arrived to find the woman with fatal injuries. The 17-year-old female driver was later found and arrested for OWI and a hit-and-run causing death. The crash is still under investigation. An investigation is underway today after a small plane crashed into a suburb north of Minneapolis and set a home ablaze. No one on board the plane survived. Right now, it's unclear how many people were on board. No one on the ground was hurt. The Federal Aviation Administration said the plane left an airport in Des Moines, Iowa, and was heading to an airport in Minneapolis when it crashed.
In my room, I had this sound and my whole house was shaking. I was afraid, is my house going down or what? Then, lo and behold, my kids said, oh, there's a plane crash. And then we look at the window, there's smoke, dark smoke everywhere. So we have to just walk away from the house because we don't know what's going on.
The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are investigating. The University of Minnesota says a graduate student was detained by U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement officials this week. In a statement, the university says the student was detained Thursday at an off-campus residence. The school says it's working to gather more information, but claims it had no prior knowledge about the incident. The school also says it did not share any information with federal officials. The student's nationality was not mentioned in the statement.
Out to me was the lack of information. We don't know. We don't know where the student is. We don't know the student's name. We just don't know what happened. And the only way we found out was not from the federal government.
An immigration attorney representing the student says they will not be making any comment due to, quote, concerns that the student may be moved out of state in retribution. A Wisconsin judge is allowing Elon Musk's plan to give $1 million to 2 voters ahead of the state Supreme Court election. The state attorney general, Josh Kaul, argued the payments violate state law, calling it a felony to offer voters anything of value for their vote. He immediately appealed the decision. Musk, who is backing Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel, is planning a Sunday rally in Green Bay. There, he plans to give $1 million to 2 voters for signing an online petition against, quote, activist judges. Musk initially posted on social media that he'd personally hand over $2 million, but the post was later deleted. Today is National Vietnam War Veterans Day. To commemorate the day, the La Crosse County Council of the American Legion hosted a Vietnam Veterans Welcome Home event at the Onalaska American Legion. The event looks to honor the service and sacrifices of local Vietnam-era veterans. The Legion lined up families, friends, and flags to welcome the Vietnam vets. The Legion leaders say it's a way to give them their long overdue recognition.
The perils that they faced and the environment they faced was challenging enough to not have to come back to political discourse in the country, and to hold on to those wounds for so long, it's in some small way righting a wrong.
The program featured keynote speakers who reflected on the service of Vietnam veterans. The veterans also had an opportunity to connect with others and share their experiences. Today, Place for Angels hosted its second annual scavenger hunt in Chaseburg. The event serves as a fundraiser to support the construction of a garden memorial dedicated to children who have died. The co-chair says events like this are a way for people to connect.
My favorite part of the scavenger hunt is just seeing people come together and seeing people, the fellowship, and just letting people be together and talk.
By the end of April, organizers hope to unveil the centerpiece of the memorial, an angel holding hands with a young boy and girl. Well, biking for a good cause. Today was the La Crosse YMCA's third annual Pedal for a Purpose. The event is a fundraising effort to support the Y's cancer survivorship programs. The programs provide strength and hope to cancer survivors through fitness and wellness resources. Today's Pedal for a Purpose participants gathered into teams of 5 and rode together for 1 hour to support cancer survivors.
I think it's awesome to see all of the community members come together and raise money for such a great cause, but also the community that we have. Everyone comes out, they're active, supporting each other, so much excitement and cheering going on. So it's a great atmosphere here.
Y officials say they met their $40,000 fundraising goal. Both the Dahl and Hauser YMCA locations hosted today's Pedal for a Purpose. Today, the second annual Ho-Chunk Nation Founders Powwow took place at the La Crosse Center. The event celebrates Native American culture with dance and festivities. One attendee says the event is helping her pay tribute to her ancestors.
Well, first, I am brought to La Crosse today for one, the powwow, but two, to honor our founders that have been able to keep our nation sovereign and really empower us to be able to be here today.
The powwow was open to the public and free to attend. Well, it was a busy night at the Symphony. Tonight, the La Crosse Symphony Orchestra performed their Spring Pops concert. Before the music started, though, this year's conductor wannabe contestants were introduced to the crowd. During the annual fundraiser, contestants choose a nonprofit to support. Half of the money they raise goes to the charity, with the other half benefiting the Symphony. The top 2 fundraisers will get to conduct a piece during the Symphony's May 3rd concert. The LSO was also joined by a special guest tonight. Grammy-nominated conductor and legendary trombonist Chris Brubeck took to the stage. Chris is the son of another famous musician, pianist Dave Brubeck. Well, still to come, protests break out at Tesla dealerships over Musk's role in government layoffs and cuts. The White House weighs in on growing violence tied to the protests after this.
Get a sleep like no other on a handmade mattress from Heirloom at Home Sleep Express. Plus, pay no interest for 5 years and get free white glove delivery, setup, and a 120-night guarantee. Heirloom mattresses at Home Sleep Express.
It's time to gear up for the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, your spring weather headquarters. Rain or shine, we've got the value you need to get your spring projects underway. Right now, get up to $20 off Scott's Turf Builder Crabgrass Preventer or Triple Action. New at Blaine's, shop these men's Ariat waterproof steel toe work boots. Plus, all Trico wiper blades are buy one, get one half price. In store or online, find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
If you want them to be safe, don't vote for him. When this man sexually assaulted a 10-year-old girl, Brad Schimmel let him off easy, calling it a one-time thing. When this man was caught with child porn, Schimmel gave him a plea deal after the man's lawyer gave Schimmel $5 grand. And when this man sexually assaulted 2 underage girls, Schimmel blamed the girls. Brad Schimmel won't protect your kids, but you can with your vote.
Right now at Homeworld Rugs, get 10% off Area Rug sale prices. Choose from many different shapes, sizes, and patterns with Area Rug experts in every showroom to help you find the perfect rug. 10% off Area Rugs going on now at Homeworld Rugs.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
A wave of takedown Tesla protests were held across the country and world today. The rallies took place outside Tesla dealerships targeting billionaire CEO Elon Musk, whose aggressive cost-cutting measures have led to thousands of federal workers being fired. Jen Sullivan has a recap on the protests.
Don't touch our Social Security! Crowds of protesters gathering outside a Tesla dealership in Washington Saturday. Outraged by the company's CEO, Elon Musk, whose influential role in the Trump administration has led to mass layoffs at government agencies and deep cuts to funding as the White House tries to rein in spending.
I think Trump is really running the country like a company, and he doesn't care about people.
Let's push Elon out the door!
Protests were held outside of Tesla dealerships across the country Saturday, part of a campaign dubbed Tesla Takedown.
Together we can take our government back.
Musk was put in charge of the agency known as DOGE, which stands for the Department of Government Efficiency. Its stated goal is to reduce government spending. So far, more than 121,000 workers have been fired from federal agencies since the start of Trump's second term. Many of Saturday's protesters say those cuts go too far.
This is not about efficiency. This is about reducing efficiency.
Organizers say these protests are meant to be peaceful, but they come amid a recent surge in violent attacks on Tesla vehicles and facilities. Cars and charging stations set on fire. The FBI has even stepped in to help crack down on the violent attacks, and the White House condemning them.
When I looked at those showrooms burning and those cars, not one or two, like 7, 8, 10 burning, exploding all over the place, these are terrorists.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Elon Musk is set to visit the Central Intelligence Agency on Monday. According to a source, CIA Director John Ratcliffe invited Musk to talk about technology and advancing the mission. Earlier this week, Ratcliffe told the House Intelligence Committee Musk's Department of Government Efficiency has, quote, zero impact on the agency. Representatives from DOGE have not yet been to the CIA or the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. A top vaccine official at the Food and Drug Administration has resigned. Dr. Peter Marks was forced out of his job after being given the choice to resign or be fired. He referred to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy in his resignation letter, saying Kennedy, quote, wishes subservient confirmation of his misinformation and lies. Marks had a key role in carrying out Operation Warp Speed, which was the government's COVID-19 vaccine program. Coming up, could your sweetener be making you hungrier? A new study suggests artificial sweeteners may impact appetite.
And we have another round of winter weather on the way, passing through tonight and tomorrow evening. I'll have a full look at who can pick up some more snow coming up right after the break.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
For over 40 years, Blood Cross Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
A criminal illegal gang member abused a child here in Wisconsin. Now, President Trump's fighting back. But a liberal judge ordered deportation flights to be turned around. We don't need another liberal judge. We need Brad Schimel, a judge and prosecutor backed by law enforcement. Schimel protected victims and safeguarded kids. Tough on crime, unwavering in justice. Vote Brad Schimel on April 1st. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If your home is looking drab, trade it in. Trade it in. The furniture's old and yucky, trade it in. Trade it in. If you're seeking a solution, then King's your resolution. If you're tired of your look, then trade it in. Trade it in.
At King's Trade-In Sale, trade in your old recliner for $50 towards a new one. Trade in your old sofa for $100. Trade in your old mattress for $75. Plus, get free delivery and 12 months no interest payments at the King Furniture Trade-In Sale.
Trade it in!
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
A new study suggests a popular artificial sweetener may alter brain activity when it comes to hunger. Researchers studied 75 people who consumed one of 3 drinks on 3 separate occasions. The drinks were plain water, water sweetened with table sugar, and water sweetened with sucralose, which is an artificial sweetener. The participants underwent brain scans and were also asked to rate their hunger levels. Those who drank water with sucralose said their appetite increased by nearly 20% when compared to drinking water with table sugar. The study authors also found the sucralose led to increased connections to other parts of the brain responsible for controlling motivation. Well, this incoming weather is not sweet at all because it looks like March is leaving like a lion once again. Let's send it over to Nicole for our weather.
Yeah, we're getting just another taste of winter. This is our third taste of winter after winter actually left, if you're keeping track yet, and we might even have another round of it coming towards the middle part of this week. But let's get through this weekend first. We have that line of thunderstorms passing through later tonight. Once that gets out of the area, we'll see it move off into central Wisconsin, where we could have some sleet and some freezing rain mixing in. As we go later into the morning hours, we'll see mainly just some light rain for some portions of the area, a lot more scattered as we go later into the morning hours. Very light comparable, to what we kind of saw earlier today, with just some drizzle and some mist at some times. But as we go later into the afternoon, our temperatures fall, and we'll see a lot of that start to transition to sleet and eventually getting to snow around 4 p.m. in Eau Claire, a little bit later around 6-7 p.m. in La Crosse. Just a narrow band of snow continuing to move on out as we go later into tomorrow evening, and should be out of the area by around the midnight hour. The good news is then, after a very cloudy weekend, we can see some clearing behind that system, and we'll actually have plenty of sunshine poking through as we go into Monday. So hopefully that snow doesn't last too long on the ground out there. Here's our ice tracker going into tonight. Still seeing signs of possibility of some freezing, dipping down just close to I-94, possibly getting to Black River Falls. Just a glaze of ice on the ground out there. Going to be hard for this to really stick to the roadways. It is a possibility, but because we've been so warm lately, those surfaces are just a tad bit warmer. This could be sticking to, though, tree branches, buildings, and cars, making for a little bit of a messy situation as we go later into tonight and into tomorrow morning. Otherwise, as far as snowfall goes, the heaviest band really still looking to stay north of us, but we have seen a slight uptick in the amount that we could come in seeing on Sunday evening, anywhere between around a trace to maybe 2 to 3 inches. There is starting to be some indications of maybe a more medium amount of snowfall happening just south of Eau Claire by Winona as well. Really not seeing any more than 4 inches in that as well, though. But again, we'll have sunshine poking through on Monday, and this is going to be likely a wetter snow, so it should compact pretty well, and it won't likely stick around for too much longer. As far as total precipitation goes, we're seeing around an inch, still possibly a little bit over that as we go into Monday. This is with melted snow as well on top of what we've already seen out there, which most of the area is still looking at just under an inch of precipitation total so far. We have a brief break in precipitation as we go into Monday, but then we're going to have even more coming as we go into Tuesday evening. Seeing a little bit of a break until, again, Tuesday evening. The first half of Tuesday should be quiet. We actually see snow to start, but then as we go into Monday night and Wednesday night and into Wednesday morning, a lot of that snow turns into rain, and then we'll have another rainy day going into Wednesday. But the good news, that's really the only other precipitation chance that we have going into the week. We have whatever's left this weekend, that snow chance going into Tuesday night and rain Wednesday, and then the last half of the week is looking quiet and for the most part pretty dry. We'll see an uptick in temperatures too, staying below average to start the week off, but actually getting close to or just slightly above above average to finish the week off and going into the weekend. So for now, it's looking like we just got to get through the middle portion of the week, and then we get a little bit more quiet and tame weather to start April off. But we'll see. We could have another push of winter coming because it is still only the beginning of April then. So
I don't know about you, but it feels like whenever we do the weather on Saturdays and Sundays, it's always end of the or start of the week is very bad, and then we get to Friday, Saturday, Thursday too, and it's so much better.
We have to have the worst of it when we still have that motivation to get through it, and then
exactly. It's a good way to look about it. Yeah. All right, thank you, Nicole. And coming up next in sports, the debut of the La Crosse Lightning. It's their first season as WIAA team, and they were looking to pick up their first win. Kate has the highlights next.
You earn trust by making a commitment and sticking to it and serving this community all day, every day. We work hard for this trust and love telling your local stories because we, like you, expect more.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Okay, hold on. I don't think it's gonna pivot anymore.
Just like pivoting from heating to cooling season, it's a difficult adjustment.
Pivot in the summer, called GNT.
Pivot! Shut up!
Called GNT.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Kate Overton.
Well, today was a special day as the La Crosse Lightning Co-op made their inaugural debut for the WIAA lacrosse season. It's a co-op made of 7 different teams for a sport that's gained a lot of popularity over the years, and today they had a couple of games at GET High School to start the season. Let's go there. It was also senior day, recognizing over 10 athletes on their squad. Now, the Lightning dropped game 1 of the day, but they were fired up for game 2 against Notre Dame Academy. First quarter, Grayson Viam dumps it off to Jax Hendrickson. He finds the net. Lightning take a 1-0 lead. A few minutes later, it's Viam taking it himself right past the goalie, make it 2-0. Still in the first, here's Charlie Sehay for the pass over to Hendrickson, who sends a rocket down low. Lightning go up 3, and then check out this sequence. First shot is off, but the rebound and pass over to Viam fakes out the goalie and scores. The Bolts were rolling, and Viam wanted more. From 12 yards out, makes it look easy. His third goal of the quarter as the Lightning go on to win 11-9. In the MLB, the Brewers back in action for game 2 of the season today and tomorrow in New York, and then at home on Monday for their home opener. Let's go to the Bronx. Hall of Famer CC Sabathia throwing out the first pitch. Also, Nestor Cortez making his Brewer debut, and it was a rough one. First pitch of the game, and Paul Goldschmidt is taking him deep. 1-0 Yankees. Next batter, very next pitch, and Cody Bellinger gets a hold of this one, high and deep to right. Another home run, make it 2-0 New York. Next batter, Aaron Judge up to the plate, And that's 3 pitches, 3 home runs for the Yankees. Not the debut Cortez was looking for, but the Brewers trying to get back into it. Runners at the corner, Christian Yelich hits a dribbler back to the pitcher, but a bad throw means Milwaukee pulls within 1. But that's as close as they would get as the Yankee offense was on fire. Anthony Volpe with 2 men on goes down the line and left for a 3-run shot, make it 7-3. Then later, with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning, Aaron Judge delivers a grand slam. 9 home runs in total for the Yankees as they get the win 20-9. The Minnesota Twins down in St. Louis taking on the Cardinals. Scoreless in the 1st, but with a runner on 2nd. Nolan Arenado sends one back up the middle. Lars Nootbaar, he comes in to score. Cardinals strike first. Next inning, Twins with a man on 3rd, and Willie Castro sends one down the line and right. He's going to make it into 2nd with an RBI double. We're all tied at 2. But in the 6th inning, the Cardinals take the lead. Ivan Herrera goes back up the middle. That'll play to run. Cardinals would add a few more as they get the win 5-1. How about an update from the NCAA tournament? The Florida Gators punched their ticket to the Final Four earlier tonight, taking down Texas Tech. Duke clinched their spot just moments ago, taking down Alabama 85-65. And then tomorrow, right here on WKBT, Tennessee will take on Houston. That game's set for 1:20 in the afternoon, and then later in the day, the Michigan State Spartans taking on the top seed Auburn. Final Four set for next Saturday, April 5th, with the national championship on April 7th. And these games are getting so tight. I know people might not be a fan of all the top seeds making it this far, but it does make for some great basketball.
Oh, definitely. I think we're going to see the best teams really at the end of the day get to play each other. So, and we've already seen some really classic games come out of this. So
I know that game last night with Houston and Purdue right down to the wire. Hopefully we get a few more buzzer beaters like that.
I have to say, so for men's brackets, everyone's has been busted for a while now. Mine's a complete disaster. But for women, there is one perfect bracket left for the women's tournament.
Oh, let's go.
Which is crazy. Now, they are betting on LSU taking down, I believe it's UCLA. So we'll see if that happens. That's a 3 seed that would have to be to 1. But who knows?
Let's go. Let's go for perfection here.
I would love to see it. I would love that.
All right, we'll have more news after the break.
It's time to gear up for the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, your spring weather headquarters. Rain or shine, we've got the value you need to get your spring projects underway. Right now, select Miracle Grow potting mix $14.99, $12.99 for rewards members. Estate Premium 4-in-1 lawn treatment $49.99, and 20-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seed just $9.99 for rewards members. In-store or online, find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Voters deserve to know what our records are.
Susan Crawford's record? Disturbing and dangerous. A 7-year-old girl sexually assaulted. The attacker faced 100 years. Crawford let him off with only 4.
I don't regret that sentence.
A 5-year-old violated. The predator should have rotted in prison. He got out in just 2 years. She protected them, not us.
I don't regret that sentence. I am proud of the work that I've done.
Susan Crawford, putting criminals over your kids.
Everyone deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential. Discover how to live life to the fullest with Thinkability Wisconsin, a resource hub that empowers people with disabilities throughout their lives. An opportunity can make all the difference. And it all starts when you say yes. Call or visit the website to get help from a Thinkability Navigator today.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Let's create your dream home at our area's only home show from the La Crosse Area Builders Association. The only home show where you'll meet over 100 businesses ready to make your home remodel dreams happen. Basement to roof, front yard to back. The only home show with Friday date night, Saturday community day, and Sunday family day. Details are at labahomeshow.com. The LABA Home Show, sponsored by Xcel Energy and Olson Solar Energy, March 28th through the 30th at the Onalaska Omni Center.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
A nurse at a children's hospital in Rhode Island is taking things into his own hands when it comes to helping his young patients manage stress. And he's the reason hundreds of kids have left smiling during what was likely a stressful situation.
For children and families visiting Hasbro Children's Hospital, the setting is something child life specialist Mallory Kropman says might cause some concern.
A lot of kids come in immediately afraid. They have an expectation in their mind of what's going to happen.
But it's thanks to people in this place like Mike Giardina.
It's really, really awesome to work alongside someone that's done something so great for kids.
Who helps to make what could be a dark situation a little bit brighter.
Some kids are scared, some aren't. I introduced play with them in order to get an assessment or, so sort of a positive experience as they first walk through the door.
Introducing play typically requires a toy, which is why for years the pediatric nurse spends hours at home customizing and creating 3D ones.
Basically, with the dinosaurs, I'd put 10 on a build plate,
which he then brings here to the hospital and hands them out to children he treats in triage.
I like that I get to take care of people at their worst moment and kind of make some sort of difference.
He pays for the materials and costs to run his printers out of pocket. The dinosaurs are a dime a dozen.
I would say about 1,600 dinosaurs I've given out.
He switches themes up for holidays and other occasions. The staple, the dinosaur, and the difference they're making are more meaningful than Mike might realize.
It's obvious he's dedicated to what he does.
Brian Monahan of East Providence brought his son Mason to the ER after he hit his head hard on the playground. It was Mike's gift of a homemade dinosaur that made things much better. Weeks have gone by, and he still keeps it close.
It's great that he's taken it upon himself at his own expense to do this to help kids and families who just need something else to focus on during what can be sort of a stressful time.
And that is just what the doctors ordered.
The rewarding part is the fact that you get a kid to smile, and it's sort of contagious.
Oh, what a great thing he's doing. We'll have a final check on your forecast when we return.
You wouldn't buy the first vehicle you saw.
Trust me, it's perfectly safe.
I'll take it. So don't hire the first personal injury lawyer you call.
Trust me.
Where do I sign? Object to anything less than the best. Call BGR.
Brad Schimmel is lying about Susan Crawford's views on protecting kids, just like he lied about rape kits and let child molesters off easy, even blaming child victims. The truth, Susan Crawford is a former prosecutor, a common-sense judge, and a mom. And unlike Schimmel, she's always protected our kids, at school and everywhere else.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford, and I'll always follow the law and use common sense to decide what's right and what's wrong.
If your home is looking drab, trade it in. Trade it in. The furniture's old and yucky, trade it in. Trade it in. If you're seeking a solution, then King's your resolution. If you're tired of your look, then trade it in. Trade it in.
At King's Trade-In Sale, trade in your old recliner for $50 towards a new one. Trade in your old sofa for $100. Trade in your old mattress for $75. Plus, get free delivery and 12 months no-interest payments at the King Furniture Trade-In Sale.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources now. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org.
No matter where I seat my guests, they seem to like the kitchen best. A kitchen's the heart of the home. It should be warm and welcoming. It should be attractive and functional. But it can be a real challenge unless you come here where you can meet with a designer, find all of the products that you need, and trust the project to our carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. For kitchens, bathrooms, and other home improvements, put your trust in the Board Store Home Improvements. Contact us today.
Hiring the wrong personal injury attorney can cost you a lot. Researching personal injury attorneys costs you nothing. We're confident that your research will lead you to buy Goff and Rohde. BGR, object to anything less than the best.
Well, we still have some rain going on tonight and into tomorrow morning, but then snow is going to mix in late, and we'll have another round of snow coming in Tuesday evening, and before that will turn to rain. A little bit windy with that too, but the end of the week looks nice.
Thank goodness for that. Need a little pick-me-up. Exactly. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.